Yeah, we're going to get started. How y'all doing? It is Sunday, February 9th. My name is Herman Davis. Matter of fact, let me stop this so I can just talk to you guys. Yep. My name is Herman Davis. I'm actually from out of the Southeast Texas area. My background is law enforcement. My wife and I, we have 9 kids and 15 grandkids, so we have a pretty big family, guys. So what got me interested in this opportunity today is I was working anywhere between 60 and 80 hours a week. And I didn't have any time to see my kids. And I was looking for a way that I can make some extra money without spending a bunch more time away from my family. So a good friend of mine shared me the same information I'm going to share with you briefly today. Today is just an overview. And it really blew my mind. My wife and I, we got started. And because of that, of course, today we're stay-at-home grandparents. We get to travel the world doing things that we never even imagined that we'd be able to do, meeting people, give to ministries and everything and above, all because we made a decision. So today is really about educating you on some services that our company offers. And then you can decide whether or not you see a value in those services. We're also going to go over an opportunity with you guys for you to make some extra money. Maybe you were invited here because someone said, look, you can make some extra money. And we want to share that with you also. But just to kind of keep things streamlined, if you don't mind, I would love for you, if you haven't already, in the chat, if you would place a state and where you're coming in from, where you're viewing this from. And if you're a guest, we would love to know who invited you, like who invited you and how you got here, because I'm pretty sure the person that invited you would like to know that you showed up, for one thing. That's one thing. But also, we like to know exactly all the states that are being represented. So let's give it about 30 seconds and everything so we can make sure we welcome everybody appropriately with it. So I know Catrice, we welcomed you earlier. Welcome for being here. Odamise, you're coming from Florida. Good. We see Atlanta's in the house. So Lucretia, you're from Atlanta. Good to see you. New York. Okay. So now we have different areas: Florida, New York, Atlanta, Detroit, Michigan. Oh my goodness. So we're represented here today. And of course, Texas is represented in the house. So all over the place. So hopefully the person that invited you, they sent you a special link, not a usual link, but it's a special link to download our mobile app. If not, just get with them afterwards and we'll get that link out to you so you can download the app and see everything that we're talking about. So let's just jump into it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with you guys today. I'm just supposed to give you an overview so you can get an idea on whether you're interested or not. So let's just jump into it. Hold on just a minute. Let me pull up my screen. Let's start off with talking a little bit about our company. Our company's been in business since 1972. So I always like to start off with this particular slide because, there's a lot of things floating around on the internet. There's a lot of offers being made. And you want to make sure a company's not here today and gone tomorrow. You want to make sure it's not a pyramid scheme or any scam. But we've been in business since 1972. Over 4.6 million people already subscribe to our services to live a better life. Over 140,000 small businesses, as a matter of fact, subscribe to our services also. But don't just take my word for it. In the last quarter of 2023, first quarter of 2024, here are just a handful of some of the magazines that have been saying a lot of great things about us. Magazines like USA Today, Associated Press, Kiplinger, Law 360, USA News. They're saying great things about us because we are tackling something that everybody has. Everybody has problems, guys. This 2025 is really interesting. 2024 was already a hard year. Now this year, change of administration, and I'm not into the politics, but I am saying that the last 2 or 3 weeks, it seemed like we had a president in office for at least 2 years, right? With all things that's going on. Regardless of your opinion about it, is we're having changes. And for some people, that's going to create more difficulties in their lives. And how do you handle your problems? That's what we do. We help you live a life no matter what's going on in the political arena, what's going on in your city. We help you maintain control over your life. Think about the times that you got mistreated. Maybe you ordered something from Amazon and it ain't what you thought, but they didn't want to give you your money back. Maybe you got into a car wreck and your car insurance doesn't want to pay full value for your car. Maybe you got a speeding ticket and now they jacking up your high car insurance rates. They're already high right now. They're going to be higher after the speeding ticket. Maybe something's on your credit report, and you can't get it off. And it's keeping you from either being financed at a good rate that you have to go to a third-party finance agency. Maybe you bring your car to mechanic, one thing wrong, get it out, something else is wrong. Maybe it's something with your kid at school. We all have these problems that we go through. So in addition to focusing on going to work and taking care of our families, we got to balance all these difficulties in our lives. How do you handle those problems? The last time you were treated unfair, did you ask for a supervisor? Did you write the corporate office? Did you call customer care and find out they don't care? We just live in a time that it's hard. It's hard for all of us. But we are providing great solutions for even the most common problems that we have. See, the apps that you see on your screen today, these are two of the apps we're going to share you about and we're going to tell you about. See, most of you probably never called a professional deal with your problems. Because when you're talking about attorneys, it costs $300, $400, $500 an hour. And the average person, we just don't make that much to be talking on the phone with attorneys. But what we've done, instead of charging you that $300, $400, $500 an hour, we've gotten over 9,000 of the best attorneys in the world, and we've given you access to those attorneys for you and your family. Now, we do have 3 tiers of this plan. We do have a basic, preferred, and a premium. Today, I'm going to talk about a general tier that we have, the preferred premium. Now, these plans, they're month to month. There's no contract involved. Matter of fact, it's easier for me to show you than to tell you. Let me pull up our app, because I'm going to show you 2 apps today. And this is one of the apps that you can get from the person that invited you. You can even download, and get a free sample, create a free account. Let me show you our app. See, what makes this so different than anything else that's out there is we make it easy. First of all, we don't just make it affordable, but we make it easy for you to contact your law firm. If you look at the bottom of the screen, when our members have this app, there's a little button that says call your law firm right there. Our members press the button and bam, they can just call their law firm Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Because typically, even if you had a question, if you had a problem, if you have an issue, how do you know who to call? Who do you call? See, the cool thing about us is you're not just getting an attorney, you're getting an entire firm. So if you have a real estate issue, you talk to a real estate attorney. Tax issue, you talk to a tax attorney. Let me share with you some ways I've used this so it can make a lot more sense with you. Here's the part of the app that shows you some of your coverage. If you download it and have the free version, you'll see that coverage there. I had a situation in Beaumont, Texas, where my car got towed. I had to pay $277 to get my car to tow truck place. Now, I didn't wake up that morning thinking I needed $300 for a towing budget, but I did. Put a 1 in the chat if you ever had a situation unexpectedly that cost you money. You weren't planning on spending. You had to spend money on something you didn't really want to spend it on. And now you have to figure out how to manage the rest of your budget, because I do my budget like precisely, right? Things happen, right, guys? Am I the only one that went through something like that something out of the blue happened and I didn't know what was going on? Well, anyway, that's where I was. So because of this, I was able to tap the app. And with this, because you can talk to an attorney about any personal issue that you want. I don't care if you call 1 time a day or 10 times a day. It really doesn't matter. The attorney told me, he said, Mr. Davis, according to the Texas Department of License and Regulation, there's certain things they need to do prior to towing your vehicle. They didn't tow it right. He made a phone call on my behalf, because with this, they'll write a letter or make a phone call. It doesn't cost you anything. Towing company called me back, apologized, refunded my money, and offered me a free tow in the city. All because I had a law firm. Now, at $300 an hour, I would have never made that phone call, guys. But since it didn't cost me, of course I did. And that's what I thought when I first saw this. I said, I'm not going to be able to use this. I don't call attorneys. But there's plenty of things that happened to me. If cost wasn't the issue, I probably would get help on. I started sharing this with some of my friends and some of my family. And you know what? Some of them got it. I had a friend of mine that got it. He got into a vehicle accident. The other party, their insurance was going to fix this car. So he called the law firm under his advice and consultation. Remember, you can call about anything personal. It doesn't cost you. He asked the attorney, is there anything I should know? The attorney said, well, they're fixing your car, but how much are they giving you for diminishing value? He said, diminishing value, what's that? The attorney said, your car is not worth the same now that it has a history of accidents. So if you try to trade it in or resell it in the future, you're not going to get as much money. My friend said, I never would have thought about that. The attorney made a phone call, got him $2,000 more for diminishing value, guys. There's just so many ways you can use this. And I was looking through this from speeding tickets to even estate planning. I didn't understand how important getting a will done. Even though I had all these kids, I didn't know that I needed a will. See, if you die without a will, that means you leave your family in bad position where they have to make some hard decisions that you failed to make. It's not just about your things. You know, my father-in-law, he had great health insurance, great life insurance. But what he didn't have in place was a healthcare directive. His last 2 weeks of his life, he was on life support. And because he didn't have that in place, his wife had to make a decision on whether they pulled the plug or not. I can't imagine guys making the decision for my mom, my wife, my brother, anybody. I couldn't imagine that, but that's exactly the position we leave our families in. This normally costs about $1,000 to prepare these documents. We do it at no charge just for trying out our services, guys. You know, I had a friend of mine, his son was 19 years old, flew to New York to go to college, got into an automobile accident. My friend from Texas flew to New York just to check up on his son, which was on his health insurance. When he got to the hospital, he couldn't do anything, couldn't even know anything because of HIPAA laws. See, that's why it's even important for a power of attorney. If you got children that's over the age of 18, get a financial power of attorney, a medical power of attorney on them. Because if anything happens to them as a parent, you can't even help them because of HIPAA. These are just little things I had to learn. There's another thing on here that I absolutely love, the 24/7 access. And we do a lot, as you can see. You know, I'm going through some of these things, but the 24-hour access, that means if you have a pulled over, question, detained, arrested, vehicle search, you can press a button on your phone and get your attorney on the phone immediately. Look, we all have the right to remain silent. We have a right to an attorney. But what good is that right unless you can get one on the phone? So I had a friend of mine, someone broke into his home, 1 a.m. It was a home invasion. It quickly turned to a homicide, guys. You know, officers come over at 1 a.m. on a Saturday morning, start asking them questions about the body by the front door. He was able to press a button on his phone, this button you see right here, and get his attorney on the phone at 1 a.m. Guys, that was huge for him because he was nervous. He never killed anyone in his life. You know, he was protecting his family, but bad things happen to good people. You know, I have sons. I have 3 sons and 6 daughters. My sons are upper teens, lower 20s. It scares me when they go about this world. How many times have you seen a video on YouTube of something that went bad, whether it's a police encounter, wrong place, wrong time, whatever else? This is the way we protect ourselves. I have nothing against police. And there's so many other ways that through our mobile app, we can help our families. When a member gets our app, they got all these different ways that they can see, you know, from speeding tickets to home repairs to suspended driver's license. I always like to go to this thing that says 101 reasons, because I don't think if you were anything like me, I didn't understand how to utilize services of a law firm because I never could afford it. But when we take the price factor out of it, you can see this list. There are so many ways. I mean, from calling on bad neighbors to health insurance issues to warranties. I see one under home ownership. This was crazy. Your neighbor's dog barks all hours of the night. So there's just so many ways that we can give people their life back. I'm gonna tell you one more quick story, guys, before we move into how we helping other people in their name, reputation, and their privacy. I got a friend of mine that he went to go buy a car. And how many of us, when we go buy a vehicle, the first thing we say is we already got our budget, right? He said, look, I didn't want to pay over $400 for that vehicle, $400 a month for that vehicle. They came back and they financed him right at $400 a month. He thought he was winning. You know, what he ended up doing, though, is he ended up taking his contract and sending it into our law firm. Why? Because we do document reviews at no charge. You know, think about this, guys. If you sign a document, that means someone paid their attorney to prepare the document. Do you think they prepared it to protect them or you? Protect them, right? Why shouldn't you have your counsel looking over there to protect you? We don't, because we don't have access. That's what this is about. So he sent the contract over. In it, when the attorney reviewed it, he said, everything looks great, but there's a $800 vehicle prep fee that I want you to scratch out. He said, vehicle prep fee, what's that? He said, that's when they wash the car and bring it around front, the most expensive car wash you'll ever have. Can you believe that, guys? If you bought a new car, you had vehicle prep fees in your financing. You paid hundreds of dollars to get your car washed. So we also, the second product that we offer people, the way we help people, is we want to help you stay on top of your finances. We want to help you to make sure that your credit score is the highest that it can. We want to protect your name, reputation, as well as your privacy. So with this particular app called ID Shield, yes, we do show you your credit. When I first saw this, guys, I didn't want to see that because my credit score was horrible. But I used this app and I used the legal app. Both of them together, they increased my credit score to what it is today, which is what you're seeing right here. You know, but we do beyond that. We don't just do credit monitoring like what you have through your bank. We monitor everything about you that you give us permission to. I had a friend of mine who had warrants for his arrest because someone cloned his driver's license and got tickets under his name. That doesn't show up on your credit report, guys, but it shows up on your arrest report. I knew of another lady who's been investigated for child pornography because someone used their information to build and operate a child porn web ring. everything led back to her. So that doesn't show up on those monitoring systems. But what we do is we monitor everything about you, your address, bank accounts, driver's license, health insurance. Did you realize someone can get health insurance in your name and change up your medical records? Passports, credit cards, gamer tags. See, identity theft is not just about getting your money. It's about using your name to commit criminal offenses. And anything suspicious, look what we do. We notify you. We send these alerts. Look at some of the alerts I've gotten lately. Non-traditional finance alert. That means someone tried to get on this one. Someone tried to get a Progressive leasing loan in my name. It found it. More Progressive leasing loans. I mean, they've been trying to really hit Progressive leasing in my name. Twitter alerts. I got too many alerts. I got to check some of these alerts. Social media alerts, dark web monitoring. Look, this is when 858 million identities were stolen through Facebook. Contains your name, first name, last name, telephone number, all these different things. See, the cool thing about it is if we get hit with any of these alerts, we can contact our ID Shield provider. They assign a licensed private investigator. They do whatever it takes, for however long it takes to restore it back to what it was. That's why Forbes magazine named us #1, because no one does it the way we do. We give you back your life. Let me show you some other things that we do, like a VPN. We'll give you a VPN through Trend. People can pay $20 a month for a VPN. We give it to you. Do this. That way, when you connect with Wi-Fi, you take that public access and make it private. We also give you anti-malware stuff on your computer and your cell phone. Let me show you what the anti-malware did on my cell phone, guys. This is the app that we have through ID Shield, through Trend. And I have a little report. I hit this button up here and it gives me a summary of all. It's protecting me in a lot of ways, but this is the way I watch the most. In the last 30 days, it's blocked 49,686 trackers off my phone. You're probably asking yourself, what in the world are you doing to have 49,686 trackers on your phone? Nothing beyond what you're doing. Put a 4 in the chat if you guys are on any type of social media. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. I mean, you name it, right? We own those social medias. And we like them because they're free, but they're free for a reason. They're free because you're the product. I mean, I want you to think about this, Laura. Laura, if I can put your first and last name, I can put your first and last name in one of these data broker websites, and I can pull up all this information about you. Why? Because they drop these trackers on your phone. What we do is we block those trackers off your phone so we can keep your privacy private. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and then go on Facebook and say, we were just talking about that? That is not a coincidence, guys. That's because they listen to your conversations. They see exactly where you're going on your location. They see exactly what you browse in your web history. All these things, we block that. And speaking of data brokers selling you information, another thing that we do is we scrape all your information off of all these data broker websites. So I didn't know if you knew it, Pearly. Pearly, I can go on any one of these sites. And when I put your first and last name in there, I can find your first name. I can find your phone number, address, email address, employment, education, age, relatives, public records. We go on all these websites and we scrape your information off. Why? Because we want to reduce your risk of identity theft. We also want to reduce the spam and scam calls. Think how many scam calls you guys get. You get it because your information is out there and everybody have free access to it. For me, I got 6 beautiful daughters and a beautiful wife. I don't want no stalker looking them up online and finding their information. Anybody that's a husband or a father, you should want this for your family because you got some weird people that are out there and they do all kind of crazy things. And speaking of kind of weird people, no judgment, but we even have a sex offender alert, sex offender search. I'm going to put my old address in here. I'm going to show y'all because what we do is we search anywhere between 1 and 5 miles of your address and we'll show you who your neighbors are. Because we live at a time we don't even know our own neighbors. We think we know our neighbors, but we really don't know our neighbors. Like 5 miles away from my old address. These are many sex offenders. They're not my neighbors. This is like sex offenders only. And you can pick anyone. Like I can go down here. Let me take that off. I can pick him and press see details, see all the information, their picture, how far he lives from my neighborhood, exactly what happened, what was he convicted of. I can pick any one of them. I just pick random ones. Picture, exactly what's going on. And see, what I would suggest, anybody that has this, if you're thinking about moving into a neighborhood, this is one of the things that I do for my family to make sure that neighborhood, I understand my neighbors and who's around. Give the person that invited you, you'll be surprised what's in your neighborhood. Let them take a snapshot of it and show it to you. And then you're going to be wow. You know, and then you have the ability to go through with all these people and find out exactly all the way down to, let me see where my house was actually. All the way down to the actual house. See, this was my actual house where it was. So I even know that block down the street, that's a sex offender, trafficking of a child. So with that, you know, that's our ID Shield. There's a lot that we have with this ID Shield. This plan is a little different from our other plans, guys. It comes in an individual as well as a family rate. So give it the person that invited you, and they can kind of share more insight on, you know, answer your questions about that and more of exactly how we help. I mean, think about the ways we can help the people that you know, because we're dealing with real issues. And that's what I love about these services is that when I saw this, I thought of different ways I could have called a law firm in the past, from bill collectors to letters I got in the mail. I knew all the ways that people can use your information. We don't just help individuals. We help small businesses out. You know, we can offer it as a voluntary benefit. We help commercial drivers out. You know, we can even help people that that do rideshare delivery on guns, and anybody that gets any of our apps, they get discounts. We got this thing called Member Perks, which saves you money off of things you're already spending money on. Cable, satellite, internet, going out to eat. When I go to the movie theaters, I save money. Our average members are saving about $50 a month. What that means for most of you is that you're going to be saving more money than what you even cost to subscribe to our apps. You know, so if you drop this membership, it's almost like you're losing money out your house. That's what I love about it, because you always win. Now, let me get to the part about making money, because I know I told you there's a way that you can generate more income. The first thing we wanted to establish is, though, what we do to help people, because that's the most important deal. I want you to see value in that, because if I'm going to be a part of anybody and I'll share this with anybody, I want to make sure that it's going to help them out first. So the way we help people is you refer people to us. Let us do the talking, because we'll do live presentations like this, and we got recordings, and let us do the heavy lifting. If they like what they see, they get it, we pay you. There's 4 different ways we pay people, guys, and it's amazing when I saw this. Because when I first started talking about this, the first thing I said is, look, I'm not a good salesman. I'm not in sales. I'm horrible at it. And the guy said, great, because we don't want good salesmen. We want people that love people enough to say, hey, take a look at this. I said, well, I can do that. He said, well, let's make a lot of money. And that's what we did. Let's say, for example, let's say Mario, let's say you came into business as an associate. You invite me to one of these presentations. I like what I saw. I get both the family plan and the family legal plan and the family ID Shield plan, because I know children are one of the fastest growing victims of identity theft. When I get that plan, what we're going to do, the company's going to do, they're going to direct deposit anywhere between $80 and $416 in your bank account for me trying it out. That's called an advance commission. When I worked at the Feds, guys, I worked my way from associate to executive director, because it was real easy for me to send people to a presentation, let somebody else do the conversation, answer their questions, and they come back and they signed up with me. 2 clients a week was paying me an extra $3,000 a month. I don't know what you can do with $3,000. I'll tell you what I did. I wasn't working 80 hours a week anymore. It got to the point that I was making more money on the side than I was at my job. That's why I'm a stay-at-home dad. So that's the first way we get paid. Second way we get paid is we don't just pay you when they try it, we pay you when they keep it. Now, this is where the real money is. Residual income. If you don't understand residual income, if the only income you understand is linear income, meaning that you used to getting paid when you work and not getting paid when you're not work, you're missing out. Because once you understand residual income, you'll go through a brick wall to get it. Let me give you an example of that. So let's say, for example, Latanya, let's say that you're a manager, okay? And you bring me in, and I don't just get the membership, I join as an associate. When I help my family or my brother out, I get paid $80. What the system does is pay the person who sold the membership, then goes up and finds every first available person and pays them a difference. We call this an override. So if I make 80, 132 minus 80 is just 52. You make 52 every time I make 80. Now, you don't make money off of me. You make money with me. There's a difference. Just like a real estate agent, they sell a house, they get a commission. That broker gets an override. Same thing here. Look, if you're an executive director, I'm a senior manager, and I bring my brother in the business. You don't know my brother, but you knew me. My brother sells a membership. He makes 80. System goes up, finds the next person, which is me. 178 minus 80 is just 98. Goes back up, finds the next person, which is you. 416 minus 178 is just 238. You make 238 and didn't even know my brother. See, that's leverage, guys. And I love leverage, because you're not making money off of people. You're making money with people. Because leverage is about the time you don't have. Even if you were the best at your job, you can only work so many hours. If they're paying you about an hour, that's it. There's a cap. Legally, you can only work so many hours in a day, right? But if you had 10 of me, 20 of me, we can always outwork you. And even when you're not working, we're still working. That's what I like about our compensation plan, because we leverage the time of people. We're rewarded by helping them make some money, but we also make money with them. So that's the third way we get paid. Fourth way we get paid are bonuses. We get up to $700 worth of bonuses, guys. We can pay you in your first few days to few weeks. These bonuses, we want you to move up the compensation plan fast. We have something called the Performance Club that pays monthly bonuses, but you letting us help you protect 2 to 4 families a month. $500, up to $500 you can make every month. We got these all expense paid vacations. We just came from Jamaica. Yeah, man. 700 of us. Everything paid for. Airfare, resort. So if you like to travel, you definitely want to be a part of us. We're going to Riviera Maya next year. I mean, this year. So not next year, this year. You can be a part of that trip with us. So at the end of the day, guys, there's 3 types of people that see this. First type of person is the person that asks questions. That's what this is for. You're the person that invited you. You can get an idea. Look, you don't have to make a decision, but what I want you to decide is to decide not to stay the same. And if you see value in our services, get the services. If you see a possibility of an opportunity, regardless of how much you doubt yourself, because at the end of the day, the only thing that stops people for doing this business is self-doubt. They don't believe in themselves. We're asking you, let us show you how to do it. So if you have questions, get them answered. Second type of person sees the membership. They value the membership. Takes every bit of 2 minutes to sign up in the membership, guys. Get with the person that invited you. They can get you to try it out. You can see how well it works. Get your credit, score up, do things, whatever you want to do with that. You do it with it, and you'll never, never regret that decision. Third type of person is a person like me. When I saw this and I saw that I can generate extra money for my household, I can generate residual income for the lifetime of the membership, I became an associate. Now to become an associate, there is a one-time $49 registration fee. Now it's normally $249. That's not the normal price. But today it's $49. And for that, you can work your business on your own schedule, build your business from anywhere. We got something called the Fast Start class. Matter of fact, it's getting ready to start in 30 more minutes. So if you get signed up right now, we can throw you in a Fast Start class, which is taught by someone that's already making 6 figures on how to work the business. You know, we also include Legal Shield Advantage for the first month free. But this is $24.95, but the first month is free. Like I said, these are all your digital tools that we customize, paid millions of dollars to get these videos and everything else that you can use that are trackable. Even the enhanced back office, you can track, track all your sales and what's going on. You can track the videos, all these things we give you first 30 days, no cost. If you want to continue using it after 30 days, and it is $24.95. But our goal, I should say, is to help you make anywhere from $300 to $1,000 your first month. If we can show you how to do that, and we can get that money in your bank account, I don't think you have a problem with paying $24.95. So look, guys, it's real simple what we do. We offer services that most people, when they learn about it, most smart people, you know what they say? They're more concerned with how in the world you guys can do it for as cheap as you do. Because that's why we got millions of people paying into this network. So we're able to give you what the rich only have, give it to you at a very affordable price, and you actually got it better than the wealthy. Because I got wealthy people that pay high dollar for attorneys. When they find out what this is, they switch to this because it makes sense. This has been a country club most of us being priced out of, guys. And that's what we're doing. We're getting you back with that. So give it the person that invited you. Let them know whether you're 1, 2, or 3. 1 is, hey, I got questions. 2 is, hey, I want to dig more into the membership. I think the membership is great. I may have some questions about that. 3 is, I'm definitely interested in making some more money, but I want to talk it over a little bit more. So with that, take care, take charge, enjoy your Sunday. I tried to keep this as short as possible because I know some of y'all are spending time with family, but excited about working with each one of y'all and excited about celebrating your wins as you get covered with this service. Take care, guys.